Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, today is a new video. It's a little different from my usual videos. Today we are going to be doing a tier list on In Hiding. Now, I don't want to make a lot of In Hiding content because it has been 3 years since I have created In Hiding, and I kind of want to put this show to rest. So I don't want to do too much things about In Hiding because I just want to move on. So I'm going to split these into 2 parts. I'm going to be doing season 1 to 2 on my tier list of which is the best, the worst episodes, in my opinion. You guys might have a different opinion, and once these videos come out, you guys will be able to make your own tier list off my Twitter, which is basically at SodaBomber18. So yeah, if you want to go follow that, I don't know why would you, but if you want to, you could. You guys can make your own tier list of what you guys think is the best, worst episode, and please share it. I want to know. I'm really curious of what you guys think. But yeah, and part 2 will be season 3 and 4, and I will be talking about In Hiding. That will be the last time. So, okay. Now we are going to work our way up to season 2. We already know how I feel about season 2, but let's one thing at a time, okay? One thing at a time. So we'll start with episode 1. I believe episode 1 was a watchable episode. I don't think it's my favorite. It was obviously new for me to even make this show, so I kind of had to rush the first episode because I had a real episode and then that got deleted, so I kind of had to scramble to make a new episode 1. So it's not my favorite. I mean, it's better than the first one, I guess. Episode 2 was pretty important because we got to learn about Michelle being a killer, and we also got to learn a little bit of information about, you know, what's her deal in a way. Like, she's been murdering people in the town and she randomly pops up. It's kind of weird, okay? I believe episode 3 was my best episode. Well, one of my best episodes. I really did like introducing Diane to the show. I like that I didn't show her right away. I showed her in the 3rd episode. She's honestly like probably like the comic relief in the beginning. She was really like, let's do it this way and stuff like that, and I always liked that, and I don't know, I like season 1 Diane. Episode 4 wasn't my best episode, but it was an important episode, so I have to put it up there into the important, because it was really important, even though this episode was a little bit more rushed. A lot of information was shown there. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't watched it, but I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't watched the show, but it's pretty important. It talks about mind control and things that we don't see till like later episodes, so it was really important. I love episode 5. Episode 5 was pretty iconic with the whole freaking the bed falling on top of him. That was really hard to film, okay? Because, you know, you're doing everything by yourself. You had no one to help you, so it was really weird to have myself get trampled by a bed and die, apparently. I don't know what I was thinking. Episode 6. I don't know how I feel about episode 6. Episode 6 was maybe not my best. I would mainly say because of the audio issues. It was really hard to hear. There was some really important dialogue, but you could not hear it at all. And it kind of made the episode bad. And I hate that because my sisters were in that episode as well as episode 2. My sisters also appeared in episode 6, and so it hurts that it's not my best episode, even though I think my sisters saved it, even though they appeared for like less than a minute. Okay. So episode 7 was, I don't know. I would say trash. Like, it did give information, so what the hell? Oh, crap. What? No, go back. Okay, sorry. That was weird. Okay, so episode 7 is not my best, but it was important because it gave a little bit of insight into Michelle's past. So I gotta put it in important, even though it was a little weak. It was probably the slowest episode of the season. I would say episode 8. So far, season 1 has no trash. And we're gonna see probably a lot of trash in season 2. Sorry. Okay, so let me say episode 8 will be in my watchable episodes. It wasn't the most entertaining. I had so high hopes for this episode because I was like really hoping that I was gonna have more freedom into the filming outside. This was probably the first episode that I was really like outside or not in my home, so it was pretty watchable. I wish I had more time. I just it was really awful. The person who helped me film this was actually my stepsister Melissa. She was supposed to be a character on the show, but she didn't want to, so she just helped me with the camera in the mall, in those mall scenes. So yeah, you know, you win, you lose some, it's whatever. But it was good for its time, I guess. Episode 9 was one of my best episodes. I think episode 9 and 10 pretty much.
Can you like load or?
Like, thank you. Whoops, what the hell? Sorry, like, I don't know why these. Hey, no, let's go here. Okay, everything's in order. Okay, so I could see I didn't have any trash episodes, but yeah, episode 9 and 10 were pretty like my best episodes because I didn't only have to play a character. My friends Nelson and Efren were also in episode 9 and 10. Their first appearance was in 9, and it was so weird having them in the show. They actually were watching the show while it was being made, and once I realized that they really liked this show, I wanted them to be a part of it. Like, originally they were not even in the story. Like, they weren't in, like, I didn't have any idea of them in the story, and I kind of just threw them in, mainly because I didn't know people would actually, one, like the show, as well as even want to be a part of it. I didn't even know they did YouTube. I knew who they were. I've known them for at least since freshman year, but I didn't know to the extent of what I know now, and I didn't know they liked film like that. I mean, there was a bunch of kids in our class that liked film, but I didn't know they had YouTube channels. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. So yeah, so when I asked them and they said yes, I had to automatically write them in the script. I was like, boom, they're in the show now. And I kind of had to bring backstory in the back of my head and all that stuff. And it all worked out. I think it worked out pretty well. But anyway, let's move on because this is getting way too long. Episode 1, I would say not my best. There was too much going on and nothing was really being said. So I would say not my best. And if what the fuck? Can I control Z? Oh no. Oh, don't mind me. Get that out. Okay. So yeah, episode 1 was not my best of season 2. Okay, so episode 2 was important. It wasn't my best episode because the angles were shit. My acting was really poor this episode. I don't know what is happening. But yeah, so even though episode 2 was trash, it was pretty important because we got to learn about Jack's father, even if it was very little, and it was pretty ahead of its time because we don't get to learn a lot about him until later on the season, even to the next season, as well as the final season. So it was really nice to already know who the father is in the second episode of season 2. I actually like episode 3. Episode 3 wasn't that bad. It was a little rocky in the beginning, but I think I got the job what it needed to tell done, and getting Jack to go back to the warehouse, and we get to explore the warehouse a little better because we didn't get to really explore the warehouse in episode 10 and episode 1, so it was really nice to see that. Episode 4 was also one of the best episodes. Oh, okay, I guess that's how it works. One of the best episodes of season 2 was episode 4 because we kind of got to see even more of the warehouse, as well as the tapes a little bit, and the motives of Michelle and Jack's dynamic, and we kind of see how desperate Jack is to bring Diane back to life, because at this point she's died, because, you know, in episode 9 she died. But yeah, so it was pretty nice to see how much Jack is willing to endure just to have his friend back. Episode 5 was pretty much trash. The way I envisioned this episode was actually it was going to be one big scene, but the scene was supposed to be really more important and not as slow and really bad. Really, this episode was. It was important, but it wasn't too much information for it to be on the important list. Like, we could have done without this episode. Like, it really didn't do too much. So I would say trash. I'm sorry. Episode 6 was it's hard to say if it was my most important or best. I guess I'll say important, only because we got to see a little bit of the effects that happened because of Jack's memory loss, as well as we getting to see Victor and George again. So it was really nice to see those characters, and also them kind of being mad because Jack is at this point having this identity crisis and he doesn't know who the fuck he is. And he saw himself with black hair and was like, who was that? Is that me? Why do I have black hair? Should I have black hair? And so he kind of just dyes his hair, and then they see this and they're like,
who are you trying to fool? Like, you're not Jack yet, I think.
we don't know. So it was very confusing for these characters to kind of figure out, is this Jack or is this J1 or who the fuck is this? You shouldn't make yourself look like someone else if you're not that person. So they're really at this point just trying to figure out who he is as well as himself. So I guess it was important. Episode 7, it had some issues. I wish I didn't have to edit season 1 and 2 on iMovie, and no one saw that. It glitched into there. You saw it, I think. Anyway, so I would say episode 7 of season 2 was pretty awesome. I like the transition from my old house to my new house, with Michelle waiting for Jack in the old house after getting evicted, and it was pretty crazy. A fun fact, I've always wanted Jack to be evicted from his home, so that wasn't like a change because I moved. He was always going to be evicted, and it was going to actually force me into filming more outside, since he will no longer be able to use his home as a scapegoat. It just so happens that I was also going to be moving, so it kind of worked itself out, I guess. He was just always going to be evicted from his home because I want to use real life consequences. So Jack being gone and not being able to work and pay rent, I thought it would be a brilliant idea to get him kicked out, because it makes more sense that he just doesn't just live in a house and he never has to pay bills, because he does. So yeah, it was really nice to have him getting kicked out and then him getting kidnapped and to Michelle's home, which we realized all those times that Michelle has just left the house for some reason to do who knows what, she was here. So it was nice to see that. We're almost done. Episode 8, not my best. Even though we get Michelle's backstory a little bit, and how she was kind of this test subject in this water, and tubs are a very metaphoric thing, because usually tubs are supposed to clean you, and in a way they were just making her dirty in a way, and really just lathering her up in these chemicals that transcends the body. It's a whole thing. I don't know how to explain it, which I should, but yeah, these chemicals have really messed with her head and even gave her a new person in her head. And as you see in season 4, Diane has another version of herself that's actually an experiment. So it's like D7, and it's a whole thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to explain it. This video is already super long. And the final episode. This episode was pretty weird because this literally, like, these 3 episodes kind of take place simultaneously. So episode 7, 8, 9 are pretty much in the same, like, time. Anyway, so I should put it in. Could you, like, load? Okay, there you go. It actually went to my thing. So yeah, it's not my best episode. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry about the lighting if it's weird. Part 2 I'll hopefully have better lighting. So yeah, I'm not gonna film part 2 now because I already gotta edit this one. But if you guys want to see part 2, leave a like, comment. Don't worry, I'm gonna do more of these tier list things. I'm gonna make that a series of different stuff. Don't worry, it's not gonna only be about my things. You'll probably be annoyed of me, but comment down below what kind of tiers should I do. Like, should I do cartoons, or should I do movies, or things like that? Something you would like to hear my opinion on, and I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it wasn't like the most creative video, but I thought it would be interesting to kind of explore this side of my channel, or whatever. I don't know. I'm still really weird. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and Gesundheit.